Hello, my friends. As most of you know, I am Mary Sue Reutebuch, Director of Christian Formation at St. Joan of Arc and St. Catherine of Alexandria, and I'm here to share a few words on behalf of our parents' ministry regarding positive discipline. What does positive discipline mean? When you hear positive discipline, what comes to mind? A parent once told me it sounded like an oxymoron. How can discipline be positive? Discipline is from a Latin word meaning instruction and training. It's derived from the meaning to learn. So discipline is not about punishment. It's about teaching and learning. Let's look at Jesus' teaching on the prodigal son. The father in the parable does not shame or punish when his son strayed. He provided boundaries and was ready to welcome him when he returned. The question is, what do you want your child or children to learn from the discipline measures you use? A parent very recently shared a frustration because her 10-year-old child, a little girl, got nail polish on the carpet after the mother explicitly told her not to use the carpet anywhere but in her room. When I asked the parent to share her reply, this is what she told me. She said, "You were told not to do this. Why don't you listen? You are now going to clean the carpet and I'm going to take all your nail polish. You have also lost your privilege of Zooming with your friends tonight until you learn to listen." Obviously, the reason she called me was it didn't go well. The child started to cry, there was more yelling, and it became a very frustrating and sad and difficult situation. My opinion is that the mother's anger was so big it became the focus, not the child's behavior. And then both of their behaviors were in question. My suggestion was this: first connect with yourself and then the child before you correct. For example, something like this might work. I might look at the polish on the carpet and make sure my eyes are there, not on the child. That is how we connect, because we both have a problem. There's now nail polish on the carpet. So take the emotion out of the situation. So I would say this, and I would watch my body tone and my body language. So watch it as I do this. We need to discuss how this will come out of the carpet. But I'm not ready to do that now. I'm going to take a quick break and then let's talk in 10 minutes. As you notice, I stayed calm and kept my body language and everything on the problem. I could have done that in a way that sounded more like this: "We'll talk in 10 minutes. Again, that would have drawn the focus to me. Instead, our focus was on the carpet. When you do that, you are teaching your child that problems need to be solved when cool minds and tongues are leading, not anger. Here I am telling the child, or you would be telling the child if you were answering her in that voice, when we meet, we're going to have a time in, and right now I'm going to take a break and a time out. Again, the time in is a reflection of calm and cool. The time out is a break, gathering ourselves, getting ourselves ready for when we meet. Doing this is not a punishment, but it is a way to care for myself as the adult. I'm not punishing myself by taking a break. That's why doing timeouts are punitive if we use them that way. Instead, I give myself a break and then a cool mind returns. My response is critical. I am also telling her what I want her to do, not what I don't want her to do. I want her to meet me and help solve the problem, but I'm not telling her how to do that. Again, I'm avoiding a power struggle. We might be tempted to ask the child, "Why did you do this?" However, that is not the problem at hand. She is now being asked to be part of the solution. The parent I spoke with took this advice to heart, and she and her 10-year-old daughter met again to discuss. In fact, I encouraged her to say to her daughter first, "Honey, I am sorry about my first response. Let's begin again." I think that's often the best language to use so that you are also modeling to your child. I'm not perfect, you're not perfect. Let's try this again. Her daughter said she would use soap and water to get out the nail polish. Her mother knew that probably wasn't going to work, but instead of telling her that, she listened to her daughter's solution and she said, "Okay, please try. Let me know how it goes." Now, the child tried, but it didn't come off. So the child Googled some ideas and decided she would need help from her mother because she had to use nail polish remover and a towel. It took some time and skill. And in her wisdom, she got her mother's help. So together, the mother and daughter solved the problem. Again, while they were focused on the problem, her mother wasn't saying all the things we might be thinking. "Why didn't you listen to me? This would have been a lot easier," etc. Her mother asked her what she learned. Her daughter said, "It takes forever to get nail polish off the carpet. I will not do that again." So, in my estimation, the child learned an important lesson because she experienced the natural consequence of her action, which was getting the nail polish off the carpet, which meant she was much less likely to repeat it. If the focus is on you, the parent, then the child may learn to be more cautious next time as to not be caught or to avoid a behavior because they are scared of the punishment or of your reaction. The lesson might have been for the child if the mother would have kept down her track. "Don't use the nail polish on the carpet unless you are really careful because you will get in big trouble." If that's the solution, then they really haven't learned anything about themselves, but more about you. The problem they are learning is how to control themselves. And that is the problem we want them to solve, because that's life's lessons. When we bring our children into the process of solving the problem, with no doubt, we as the parents are in charge. We are building confidence, critical thinking skills, and avoiding fear-driven responses. Again, it's often easier said than done, and it certainly takes a village. So don't hesitate to contact me with questions or feedback. See you next week.